Board. Board games, board games, it's what we're talking about. Board games, we're not gonna shout. I am starting off this morning with a little bit of singing, and today I have someone beside me who is spreading the fun with board games to teach and educate for people who are coming up. Let's not be late. Well done, Xate. You are on the chat. Well done, you have made the start. Oh, this song isn't working out very well, but board games, it's what we're talking about. Board games, I'm not gonna shout. Hey! Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Xate. Good morning, Alan Outson. And good morning, sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Yeside. How are you generally?
Very well, thank you.
Excellent.
Good to be here.
And I am Brez. Whether you're in Nigeria or the UK, it is approximately breakfast time, or maybe it's brunchy time, I think we've decided. I can't remember why we decided that, but sure. It is the busy brunchy board game Leather. And today we have Yeside. As always, we are going to be starting with some brilliant things. Here's a little thing which is brilliant. Brilliant things. So, I want to talk about the sun. I mean, I might have already talked about the sun before for the heat and, you know, the light energy, but I think the sun is so brilliant that we should talk about it again. You know, even on days when it's cloudy, some of the sun's rays get to us and illuminate our way, and it's a wonderful thing. So I am grateful for the sun. Now, let's talk about recent highlights. Listening to music and seeing the sights. Recent highlights. So, what have been some of your recent highlights? Yeside? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What are some of your recent highlights?
Okay. That'll be working on this new games. I'm working on 2 new games, musical games, and mostly African based, and pushing out our existing games. That's basically it for me.
Oh yeah, and I guess my recent highlight is more human connections. I mean, what Xate is saying about, yeah, just now it's brunch because it's 11 in mainland Europe, and Xate is now such a big part of the show. So I think my recent highlights, as I say, is connections with people. It is, yesterday also I want to share the fact that I can now hula hoop whilst touching my feet. So every time the hula hoop spins back, well, I do 4 spins and then I touch one of my feet. I kind of lift my foot, and sometimes I drop the hula hoops, but you know, when it's spinning the left way, I'm pretty good at it. So as I've said before, if 2 people ask me, one day I will show you and I will do a performance, but no one's asked me yet. So that is what I am, one of my recent highlights, that and having the social connections thanks to the internet. Now let's talk about games. What have we been playing? What are their names? Games. Yesterday I played 2 games. People will know we played a version of Alphabetical. I'm sure I had it here somewhere where we played. I believe Alan was there, and I believe Xate came in a little bit late. But you know, the game where you're putting things in alphabetical order, it definitely needed some work. But I am excited; it seems to be a solid start. Then we played Mansplaining,
Yeah.
a game by Fortessa Scott, and we had so much fun with that. Once again, I am biased because one of them I made, one of them is by a person called yeah, what is the game's name? We still don't know. Currently it's paper alphabetical. But
So,
yeah. And ooh, I'm excited by that. Have you got names for your games, Sate? If you do, then let us know. But what have you been playing, Yeside?
basically, play testing our game, the name games I spoke about earlier. Okay, so the names are, the first one is Dancer. They're both party games. The second one is that's the African game. Alright, so this is just like a sound intonation technique. But I'm sorry, hope you can hear my baby screaming.
Yeah, I
Okay.
hope your baby is
All right.
okay.
Yes, she is. She's fine. She just needs a little attention, but she's fine. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's
So
always the way.
those are the games. So I played with a group of friends on Saturday. Yes, and we played and we had lots of fun. That's the dancer. So those are the recent games I've played. Yes.
Okay. And if you are inventing any games for the L deck, don't worry, you don't need to make up a name if you don't have one. That is totally fair. And
Mm.
Alan Naughton is playing Hive, although they're being beaten by experienced players on BGA, so they'll probably give up. That feels a bit sad. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, games are there for fun, so if you're not having fun, then yeah, why not? But it's all about sometimes games when you keep persevering and then you work hard and then you can finally win. It's so satisfying.
Yes.
But at chance of and so yeah, there you go. Someone that you can win against if you need to. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is the question. Oh, before I do so, a little reminder to myself to please thank you everyone who's watching along for commenting, and please do comment, ask questions as you wish for Yesida. All respectful questions are welcome, and feel free to do whatever is appropriate on the social channel of your choice. Share from like, follow, all those things. And now let's get into the questionably quick questions. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Did you have breakfast?
No,
What's the last thing you ate?
not yet. Spaghetti, plantain, and
Mm.
fish.
Iced coffee or hot tea?
Hot tea.
What's the thing you like to eat or drink whilst playing games?
I like nuts, like ground nuts, cashew nuts, peanuts, any kind of
Mm.
nuts. Then probably bottle of water. That's fine with me.
That sounds good. Who's the last person you spoke to in person?
That'll be my 3-year-old. No, I think the one who is just 1 year plus, like 18 months. My 18 month old daughter. She's in fact in front of me as we speak.
Books or podcasts?
I didn't get that.
Um,
I didn't
Books
hear
or
you.
podcasts?
Podcast.
Hmm.
Yeah, listening to them.
And what is the last one you listened to?
That was something about illegal immigration in the UK. I listened to that yesterday. Just talking about people who are not living legally in the UK. The podcaster didn't want to call it illegal, so she called it illegal. Like probably their papers got expired and probably they got trapped in the US because of the pandemic, or rather in the UK because of the pandemic and things like that. So how to sort things like that out with a lawyer. So that's what she was talking about.
Nice. And what do you have a name for the last physical game you played? You said it was a prototype.
Yes, the ones that I'm working on, right?
Hmm.
Yes, I said dancer, like DANSA, dancer.
Cool.
Then the other one is like UHN hyphen UHN. Sounds like
Mm-mm.
a like a sound. Exactly. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about them in a wee bit. But
All
what
right.
is your favorite color to play?
Favorite color. I
So
think
in
more
a
of
game
the
where you choose your color, what is your favorite color to
yeah.
be in a game?
I like yellow and I like red. I'm torn between both of them.
I like the red too, as you
Yeah.
can probably tell by the frame and everything.
I can see exactly. I can see red everywhere.
What is your favorite between cards or cubes?
Hmm. I think I like cubes. I think the cubes, especially when they're interesting. You have interesting things on them.
Wooden meeple or plastic figurine?
Hmm. Is it- Truthfully, I haven't touched any physically. So, but what I see, yes, I love nipples a lot. Sorry.
Yeah, Casey was telling me that until they brought the meeples in, no one had seen these meeples.
Exactly. We are so excited on this side of the divide. That finally we get access to things like that.
I thought you would have gone to the Nib Cards board game cafe to grab some meeples for yourself.
Okay. Oh, not yet because we stay far apart. Like, how do I describe it? We stay in different cities. I'm sorry. My kids are a handful. Okay, so I stay on different sides of we stay on different sides of the country. I stay in Oyo State, Ibadan, while he stays in Abuja, which is the capital territory. Okay, so it's miles apart. So I'm expecting some things from him, and I'll probably order for them.
Oh, exciting. So it'll be coming through the
Yeah,
post for you.
you didn't. I didn't get that.
So it'll be posted to you.
Yes, it will be. Hopefully
Okay.
before the end of this week.
When you store your games, when you put them on the shelf, do you put them vertically or do you store them horizontally?
I prefer vertically.
Hmm. Art or rules?
Art.
Tell me 3 board games you love.
I'll be biased. I love First Mention. That's the one I designed. I love there's this Portals on Prophets is a Bible game as well. I love this as well. And I also love this one by Casey. I'm trying to remember the name. It's not out yet, but I'm too fascinated about it. It's Village War.
Oh, the Village War. Oh, I think we might have some slight technical issues. I don't know if other people are hearing Yeside okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we've definitely had some technical issues with Yesida just breaking up. And thank you very much, Will Cook. So now, while Yesida manages to come back, I might just so show some streams. And so yeah, this is you see there's thingy. I've muted the sound. So as you can see at the bottom, Yeside's done a whole bunch of different games. Yeside's started working on games to spread education, to spread religion, which is a really interesting thing because I don't think I've had anyone on the show before who is spreading Christianity through the board games. And you're also focusing on the teaching to read and write, which is a lovely thing. I was just showing people a couple of your pictures, and so before we move on, could you tell us in as much or as little detail as you would like, what is a typical day for you over the past month?
A typical day will be like mostly attending to my kids, basically play testing games, and helping my kids with homeschooling, which because of the pandemic we don't have to go to school physically, so it's more about homeschooling, um, just being there for them and also doing at least a little work. Most of the time, I get to work like during the night because they are active all through the day. So I work more at night. So just to do something about, I make sure I do something about board games, tabletop games. That's basically
Sounds like a busy life and quite a handful. How many children do you have?
I have two girls, two beautiful girls. Yes.
And this is so this Ugo and Sade
Yeah.
tell
So
us what does this mean here? Is this
okay. All right. They're supposed to be game buddies, like foreigner game buddies, who would show or tell people how to play games. Although I've not fully incorporated them into our posts and all of that, but they're supposed to, like, if you have a question on how to play a game or anything like that, so they're just a game buddies, um, just helping you with the rules, helping you to understand our games, and that's just it. Basically.
so are Ugo and Sade some friends of yours that are helping you out? Or are
No,
they fictional
just
people?
yes, fictional. Just made them up.
Okay. Out of curiosity, this is a really different marketing approach. What made you decide to do Ugo and Sade rather than promoting yourself, Yeside?
Okay, nothing particularly because I just noticed. I think here in Nigeria, most big companies, big corporations really go that way. Like they use what's it called? They use fictional characters to portray their brands, and I know that people get to relate a lot with these characters, though fictional. Because they say, "Oh, I'm used to doing this." So, especially banks here in Nigeria, and people really go all out with them. So like they have a personal relationship with them, so it draws them. They make them more endeared to the brand. So I thought doing that will also get people more endeared to our brand. So that's just the idea behind it.
So let's go back and talk about how did you first encounter board games and what were board games like for you growing up?
Okay. I'll say I stumbled on board games in recent times, which made me go into it. But growing up, it is more of the local games that we have here in Nigeria, which is we have the IU. which is called I think Mancala generally. I don't know if you're familiar with it. The one you
Hmm.
have small seeds and you play. Um, then we also had what cards. Uh, these were the cards that we used to play. Then we had Ludo, the Ludo board. I think it's with Casey put it up in my interview I had on this page. So the Ludo board, those were the basic games we had growing up. Then much recently, Monopoly was introduced to Nigeria, and it's like just like around the world, it went like everybody just switched, and that became the new normal. Even though I didn't get to like play it until recently. Then last year around April, when I was just at giving birth in January, and I was just trying to get like what do I do with this life, as in because I'm a very creative person and I just wanted to. I've always liked sketching. Okay, so from as young as like 7 or 8, I had this fictional character that I used to sketch. It was called Mr. I think Mr. Ben and his passengers, about a taxi driver or something. And so I was like, okay, so do I go into that? I was trying to just look at what I could do. Then I had this idea of puzzles. I've also loved puzzles. So I have a lot of that I've compiled. And like, okay, do I publish this? Then I kept doing research and I found out that, oh, there actually there's actually an industry like gaming. Like I didn't know that there were board games, like an industry that is fully grown out there. So I kept doing my research. Do we have anything like this in Nigeria? Then I discovered Casey. Like Casey had been doing this for years. I was so impressed, and we got talking, and like they say, the rest is history. So I had this game I was working on then. So I just started putting flesh in. So I started researching on mechanics to use things and things like that. So I just put all of this together. I shared it with Casey, and he thought it was brilliant, and that there's a market out there for. And I actually wanted something that okay, because that's actually what our business is more about. It's not just play. We don't see board games just to play. We see it as a learning tool. Okay, so we every game we try to publish or we try to produce or design, we make sure that it's teaching something. And Nigerians are very religious. I don't know if you know. So the first thing that just came to mind is okay, why not something that will just teach people that just on one plate, you just have like an overview of the overview knowledge of the Bible basically. So I just started doing a lot of research, even some words I had not heard in the Bible myself. I learned some places, some events, and things like that. I just got to know, and I incorporated them into the games, and we worked on the mechanics, and there are two different modes to play the game. So that's basically how I stumbled into the industry, and it's been fun.
So,
This was when I was the kids at my church were playtesting.
would you say that everyone, most people in Nigeria are Christian? What is the religious makeup? Do you know?
Okay, it's more. The last time I checked, it's more of Muslims. Yes, but just like a little percentage difference, but we have more Muslims in Nigeria by demographics that is published out there. So we have more Muslims than Christians. This is when we had some girls hangouts in my fellowship, and I took it there for them to play test. And this lady was so she was taken aback, like she didn't know that there was something that could be this fun and educating at the same time.
Yeah, bringing that to someone. So, why why do you think that games are a good medium for teaching? I guess I have two questions. Firstly, why do you think games are a good medium for teaching? And secondly, why do you think that the what does this game teach with regards to the Bible, and why is it worth teaching?
Okay, games are a good tool for teaching because like you're learning in a more relaxed environment. You're not being it's not it's not like a force. Do you understand? Because most people, when they hear learning, they're already like, ah, it's going to be hard, it's going to be this. So learning can actually be fun, and I think that's what games do. Okay, so especially when we came up with the educational game, and I was actually just, like I said, I help my daughter with her homeschooling for now. So I was trying to get her through learning her alphabet, like how to write her alphabet. Okay, and I just felt okay, there should be an easier way to communicate this to this girl at a level. Do you understand that she'll be able to understand and have fun and also get the message? And I just came up with it. And in fact, the first thing I did was to cut out cartons to make that for her. And I noticed that like almost like in a very short period of time, she was able to grasp what I've been trying to almost like force into her head just by playing these games and interacting with, yes, exactly, just by interacting with the letters and numbers builder. She was able to know that okay, the curve goes here, the long line goes here, and all of that. And she was able to, so anytime she wants to write now, she knows that okay, she just kind of pictures the game, even if she's not playing it right there and then. So it really helps. So I just feel when when you're playing a game, learning becomes easier. Learning becomes more fun, especially if it's something that you're enjoying. Okay, so and you're just it just registers into your subconscious, and when even long after you've played the game, you just know that oh, this thing is still in you. So for the game first mentioned. Okay, so it basically teaches about different sections of the Bible. Many people don't even know the Bible is divided into sections. So the different books of the Bible is divided. The Bible basically is divided into 8 sections, under which the books of the Bible fall into. So it teaches people about the different events, the people, the places, the things that happened in every section of the Bible. Do you understand? So
Can I
as you're playing the game, go ahead.
can I ask you to give us the 1 minute overview of this game that we're looking at right now? Explain to us how it plays and what you do in the
Okay.
game.
Okay. All right. So for first match, this is the board, and like I said, there are 2 ways to play. I don't know if you could zoom in a little. Is it possible?
No, it's just
Okay.
I think there was a video before with the here.
Okay. Okay. So the parts. So where you have the stumps and the stones on those parts, yes, where um the um the playing pieces are, those wooden pieces. So that's one way to play. It's called the normal mode. Okay. So the thing is, you take your cards in hand, and there are words on the card. Those words are characters in the Bible, events in the Bible, places in the Bible, and things like that. So your goal is to tell us where were those words first mentioned in the Bible. Like for example, Noah or Adam. Where was Adam first mentioned in the Bible? Like I said, the Bible is divided into 8 different sections because those are the sections of the Bible. But in this game, they are the territories. So you are out to possess territories. You are out to take down your opponent, like take them out of the territory, conquer territories, and things like that. That's the idea of the game. I don't know if you understand me. Okay, so can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you. It's
Okay.
a lot to take in. So, is it mainly about answering these questions? Is it like a trivia game? Oh, and by the way, good morning,
Yes,
Aquasulis. It's lovely to see you.
okay. Yes, it's both trivia and how did I put it? Yes, it's more of trivia. Okay, so it's you're answering the question where was the name on the card first mentioned on the Bible. Then you also have to tell us that's what section of the Bible was it first mentioned. Then you also have to tell us something about it. So Noah or Adam was the first person to be created by God, and it was first mentioned in the law section of the Bible, which is the law territory in this game. So if you get it correctly, you advance your game piece 2 times. Whereas if you're playing the territorial mode, there are territorial banners. That's what you can see: the blue, the green, the yellow, and the red. Okay, so if you're playing the territorial mode and answer those questions questions correctly, you obtain a territory. So and you note down your points on the notepad. The notepad pad is right there. It's reusable by the way. So once you're done, you can wipe it and use it all over again. So once you take down your points, then the next person can come and obtain another territory or actually bounce you
Oops.
off the territory of hello.
Um, Xate says it sounds like a take that game. So is that correct? My understanding
I
was
think
that the territory is like in the bank and you're not taking it from any player, or are you taking it from other players?
yes, you can take it from other players. Like if someone got to territory before you and you answer a question in that territory correctly, you can take over the territory from that player, from the opponent. You can just stick to the person who has the most territories at the end of the game is the winner.
I mean, I might be inferring something wrong, but I know that Xate isn't a fan of Take That. Do you think that Take That is, you know, in line with, yeah, basically, Xate is saying that the notion of being aggressive to other players seems a bit weird for
Um,
the theme.
no, not being aggressive. I don't know. If, I don't know. Take that as a claim. So, but I don't think I'm getting you correctly. That's not the idea of the game. The idea of the game is to get territories for yourself. Okay, so the story behind the game is people being displaced. Okay, like in a pandemic situation, people are displaced all over. People don't know what to do, and they run to they hear of this place. So this game is the Bible in this game is the city of lights. So
Hmm.
they run to this place for safety. Okay, so when you get to this place, of course you have to learn about the dictates of the place. So the first so once you get into a territory first, it assumes that you are learning about that territory. Okay, so somebody who comes into the territory after you is also going to be learning about the territory. But the third person who comes into the territory can actually um, it's actually a strategy game. So you are actually making sure that you are relevant in that territory at all times. If not, you'll be displaced. Okay, so everybody's trying to get a territory for themselves. They don't want to be in the pandemic. They want to be in this safe haven. Do you understand? So they're
Hmm.
trying to get territories in this place for themselves. So that's the idea, not take that like you are being aggressive and pushing people off. No, it's getting territories for yourself, like having a safe place for you and your descendants in every territory, as many territories as you can get in this city of light. It would like help you. And as you're doing this, you're learning about the Bible, the places, like I said, the events, characters, and things like that.
Oh, your second game was that the soiree,
Yes, exactly. So the Bible party game.
and can you give us the 1 minute pitch for how soiree works?
Okay, basically it's a charade, just like the way charade plays out. So we have different color codes. We have the blue, which is for sing. We have um, the yellow, which is for not more than 2 words, not more than 3 words, and things like that. So you can describe the word on the card, and basically they are um, words in the Bible that are in the card, that are on the cards rather. So can you explain with more elaborate words and not more than 3 words? With just gestures, you're limited to not talking, like just using gestures. You can't see anything to describe to your team. Okay, so the team with the most points at the end of the game wins. So that's it. Just plays out like charades. Just that it's different things. So you can play by theme, or you can have a mix of everything and just play like spontaneously like that.
Alan asks if, well, your games are cooperative or your forthcoming games.
Yes. Okay, so soiree is cooperative. Then the party games I'm working on, they can be played as co-op games, especially the dancer. Yes, can be played as co-op game. But the is not a co-op game. It's like you're on your own with you. You have to. It's more about words, like a word battle, something like that.
Now, your third thing, the letters and numbers builder, you
Yeah.
say that this has been helping you with something that you invented for your own home education.
Yes, exactly. To homeschool my daughter, and it's been helping a lot of kids now. And we're trying to make it push it out more so that it can help more kids, especially now that we don't even know when the schools will be opened. So it's helping them to learn their colors, mostly primary colors. It's helping them with um, learning to write, letting them to identify their letters, and it can also be used for numbers as well. Letters, numbers, shapes, and other creative things that the kids may want to try out.
So, um, what do you think is the main thing that you're hoping to do? What would be your main goal if you could look to the future in 10 years' time? What would be your ideal situation with the games that you have managed to create?
Okay, so about
And also, you personally, if you wish to get into that.
okay, so in 10 years, I hope that more communities, more families in Nigeria and more in West Africa are open to board games, that they get to understand that there are other games other than Monopoly and IU and the other ones that we grew up knowing, and that they can actually learn by playing these games and have fun, because we believe that it's not just about having fun or playing just for the fun of it, but it's also a way to bring people together, make people bond. And so I hope that we'll be able to publish more games that will do this for people, and also most likely help people also design their games, because I have one or two people who have also reached out that okay, they don't know how to go about it and things like that. So we hope to be able to help other people, like to make Nigeria, like put them on the global map of board game designing as well.
Hmm,
Yeah.
those are really strong ambitions. Um, what, other than yourself and KC, of course, do you know of any other board game designers in Nigeria?
Yes, I do. So recently, I was trying to. I was invited for this program for like trying to export your goods and all of that. So I was trying to tell them of the game. So I met this adult board game designer there, who was also been in the industry before myself, like about 2 years ago, 3 years now. He's based in Lagos, Nigeria. And Casey, I was speaking with Casey a couple of days ago, and he was telling me about how like more people are coming to the industry, that is helping some people with designing their games. So we have like super. Sadly, he told me that I'm still the only female that he knows about. So the person I also know is a male as well. So they are. I think we're growing. The industry is growing bit by bit.
Yeah, I think that. Let me ask you, what challenges do you think that there are working in Nigeria? Obviously, I'm in many ways privileged to have been born into a fairly rich country, if you know what I mean. And
Yes.
what what would you say are the challenges that you have being a Nigerian mum and a board game designer?
Balance. That's one of the challenges. Balance, juggle. Like like I put there in one of my posts, juggling all of this. That's one of the challenges. And another challenge is not having access to what you call the standard manufacturing of the board games. You get then acceptance. That's another challenge we face. Acceptance. So many people are just tied to the regular games that they've always had, and not like open to accepting new games. And even on a global scale as well, I don't like, for example, Kickstarter doesn't allow Nigeria, for example, to be. It's not listed as one of the countries that can actually partake, that can actually kickstart a
Hmm.
game. So these are some of the challenges. So how do you get global recognition? How do you play on a global scale when you are actually just like caged in? So these are basically the challenges. Having access to like what other countries have access to in terms of designing, in terms of, thank God for Casey who just brought in the maples and all of that, so that we can actually like it's easier to when you're designing to test and all of that. So but basically that's just it. Having what other countries like you said, rich countries have access to in the board game designing world.
You mentioned Kickstarter, and of course, Kenichukwu has done a lot of great stuff with Indiegogo that
Indiegogo.
they've
Yeah.
managed to raise funds for the cafe and sell some of the games internationally. Um,
Yeah.
do you think that that is something you can consider for your publishing?
Yes, I think so. Although the last game that Casey tried to put on there, that's one touch. It didn't fly so well. And I was speaking with him about putting the new one, that's Village War, and he said he wasn't so sure. I didn't know his reasons, but you know, um, even Indiegogo, I think it's, I don't know. I think there's a way all of this works, but it also has. I think it's there's just, I don't know. I love the community. I love how everyone tries to tag everyone along and all of that, because I've received a lot of massive help, like setting up my BGG and all of that from total strangers, just because of the interview I had with Casey earlier. So there's a lot of help going on there, but there's also more things that we can do. So I'll try, because I actually tried Indiegogo once and it didn't work, but I didn't see Nigeria listed. I was even going to talk to Casey about how it got on there, but I think more of these things should be open to Africans as well. So
Hmm.
yes.
Let me ask about how did everyone respond to your games? So you made this game, you managed to mass produce it. Let me actually ask you about the process of manufacturing in Nigeria. Now, when I do manufacturing for something like this, for example, so this I did a Kickstarter, I got thousands of pounds, and then I asked the Polish people to, I sent them the digital files. They, it's almost like the whole cutting and manufacturing, I didn't have any involvement in. But
Well,
with you, was the manufacturing done close to home? Who took care of your, yeah, who took care of your manufacturing? Can you guide us through that
um,
story?
okay. So for first mention, Casey, Casey's company, that's Namecard Games, totally helped. There was a lot of back and forth, but they were amazing. So they helped with the publishing. But for the soiree, I went on to do that myself here in Ibadan, Nigeria, and just going to local publishers and local printers, not even publishers, local printers, to okay, giving them the soft files and trying to work with them, going to the die cutters, doing basically everything myself. But for first mention, that was more of naked games. So I just sent them the raw files and they helped with it.
And there's a lot of hand assembly involved in that process, right?
Exactly. No machine. So in fact, they sent me a video when, in fact, they were using lamp. It was so disheartening because I was like, can't you guys just rest and continue tomorrow? Said they had a deadline to me because they couldn't, they didn't just want to fail me. So they would go all out, even in the middle of the night, they are working and all of that. If somebody is asking me how many did I make, because of the factors that's financial and um, not being totally accepted yet. I had to produce just 50 copies, of which I haven't sold all. Yes, that was at December last year when we published. Okay, so that's basically it. They go through most of them hand, putting all of that the paper. The only thing the machine does for them is to print. Then all the assembly and all of that, it's all um, manual labor.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of hard work that's going on. And
Yes,
so, what you say that you've only managed to sell about 25 of these so far?
yes, about 22, 25 thereabout.
So, how is the challenge of marketing these games in Nigeria? How do you go about marketing them? Because other than the African Board Game Convention, which KC made, there is not a lot of board game culture in Nigeria. So, how would you spread the word typically?
Yeah. Okay, so being a Christian game, try to go for probably families and all of that. So what my pastor did personally, my pastor was okay. He called me out to like announce it to the church, showcase it. Then he let me put out a stand like outside the church premises for people to have a feel of it. Okay, so and he recommended me to other churches and other pastors that I could go talk to, and amazingly, everyone, I've not received any bad feedback from the game. Everyone has totally loved it. In fact, when Casey was telling me of people who come to the cafe to play the game, he said church people, that was his word. He said church people totally love this game. That so I have to look at more like how to push it. So and I'm like, because okay, I'm totally not a marketing person, but because of this, I really have to go like out of my skin to market. So I go to display anytime I hear there's probably like an exhibition. It's all through December. I was at different exhibitions, just showcasing and telling people how to play, and so because of all that has to go into the game for the production, so people perceive it because I have to pay for illustrations, I have to pay for design and art and all of that. So people believe that it's quite expensive. And why would I have to pay that much to get the game? So most people were going for the soiree, the charade games, that's the soiree, the card games, and that one's almost sold out. But the first mention, they love it. They say, "Oh, really? Wow, wow, this is right. I really love to have it." And when you just tell them about the pricing, then they're like, so I don't know how it's done aside from Kickstarter. I've tried to do a lot of research, and I'm trying to collaborate for this new games that I'm trying to publish. I'm trying to collaborate with people like influencers here in Nigeria that could. So it's going to be basically pre-order. I don't want to publish the games and then start looking for the markets. So I want more to go out on once they're set to be published or once they're set to be launched.
Yeah, I think that it, I'm also curious, who exactly did your artwork, by the way?
Oh, Spoof Media. Spoof Media. Yes.
Who are they?
KC was one who connected. Okay, I think they work there in Abuja as well. So it was just Casey's connections. He helped me because I was everyone I tried to get on my own. We're not just getting. In fact, I had to like cancel contracts like two times before I just had to run to Casey that say, apart from helping me with the making of this game, you may have to help me with the arts, the design, because people are not getting what I have in my head, like the idea, the story, for them to like put it out in tangible form, and they connected me with Spoke Media and they did it.
I mean, you talk about marketing, and absolutely, marketing is sadly the most important thing when it comes to
Okay.
selling anything, whether it be board games or whatever. And you seem to have
Yes.
been doing quite well with presumably teaching yourself how to make these videos and whatnot. And it feels like there is, as you say, a really solid network of board gaming, of trying to spread this one thing to everyone. Would do you were coming? So again, everyone in the comments, just to say, if you're watching on Twitch, there is the links that I've put up. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can check out all of Yeside's links in the show description. And if you've got any questions before we wrap up for today, then please give a little shout out. Moving to you, what's in the future? Tell us about Dancer. Tell us what else you're going to teach, and yeah, do you have any copies of Dance? I guess I would, if I'd thought about it, should have asked you to show us how it works and bring it beside you. But can you give us a
Yes,
quick
I will.
explanation of Dance and
Okay. All right. So dancer it's just like charade, but not charade because it's more of you're just dancing to communicate. Basically, you're dancing to communicate to your team, and you're trying to guess what dance step that is. So it goes from African dances to tap dancing to moonwalking to as mentioned on the card we have the name of the dance, the
Okay.
hints like yes, so hints like how to take the dance steps just in case you're not familiar with the dance steps, then the origin, what country the dance originated from. So you're so you just imagine, and people were just wondering, people were laughing and just wondering what dance step is this, do you understand? So it just gets your next event or your next hangout to be just transforms it into a dance hall with everyone just trying out new dance steps and just dancing to communicate. So once you can correctly communicate your dance moves to your team and it gets correctly, you get to points or things like that. Then and someone else from the team tries out, and so at the end of the day, the team with the most points wins. And we also crown the dance king. Whoever communicated best will also be crowned. Then for that's a hilarious game because most Africans have no chill when it comes to um, like a conversation when saying something that doesn't add up to a conversation. Like we're just talking about board games, and someone says, "So do you drink water?" And they just go, "Mm-mm, waterless" or something. They just give you this epic response, but without saying first. So that is like like I don't know how to what words to use to communicate. It just so what the cards look like is you have like totally odd conversations on the cards, and so you just there's an easy and a hard mode. So the easy mode, you can choose any of the words and the sentence or the phrase to respond to. So I get to start, then the next person has to continue from where I stop. So in case for example we say, is that your card, and I say carton, then the next person tries to rhyme with the initial sound and says cabin, carry, so you just keep going like that. So the person who goes silent first, or who is stuck, or who says so the person loses out. But it's just a fun game of like initial sounds, like trying to match them up and with the sound. So that's basically it. So I'm expecting
it's
the prototypes this week. So Casey is also helping. Is like our birthday savior here. So he's helping me with the making of the prototype so that I can put it out for play testing and also try to push it for pre-ordering.
it does sound really cool, and it's you know what, it's just generally exciting, genuinely, to hear that people are building up communities in their own parts of the world. I mean, yes, we can communicate because of this technology, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I speak to you,
Yeah.
and in less than half a second, you hear me, even though we're, I don't know how many thousand miles
Exactly.
away. And I mean, I could probably check on Google Maps, but I'm not going to. No one wants to watch me do that. But
Yes.
yeah, it's just exciting that you're building up communities. People in different parts of the world
Exactly.
are building up communities, and we're all sharing things because board games at their end are really about building, bringing people together. Whether
Yeah.
yeah, whether it is about having people learn just making shapes and doing a sort of homeschooling thing, or doing letters, and or indeed sharing your view of the world. Oh dear, we seem to have lost Yesida. But it is really awesome to have yeah, people making these things. Sorry, Yesida. Oh, there we go. And hi Jess. It's lovely to see you. And so yeah, we're just finishing up, and let's talk a little bit about what we're looking forward to and what our daily hopes and ambitions are. So, I have a big ambition today. I know it doesn't sound like much normally, but today I am planning to go to the bank, and I'm going to try to get them to help me get the internet banking sorted out, because I've not been able to look at my accounts or anything since March. And then
Wow.
also, I need to pay to people some money that I need to do through the bank. I need to pay, um, yeah, I need to pay for all of these that I got, and I need to pay for all the Yogi Guru that I got back in March, which is kind of weird because they pay me money and I need to pay them some of them back. Why can't they just pay me less money? But it's all bureaucracy, I tell you, it's all bureaucracy. That's the way it goes. But I need to go to the bank and sort out this thing. And then my plan is to go and see Chris, and we're going to do a little bit of work together. And that is what I am really looking forward to. Um, well, looking forward to seeing Chris. And one thing that I am looking forward to genuinely, I know it sounds really silly, but either there's two options. Either Chris and McCall are happy to play a game tonight, which will be lovely, and I will check with them before I go. Are you happy to play a game tonight? Or if they're not, I will take some time off this evening and I'm going to have a bit of a cycle round. Either way, that is something I'm looking forward to. So tell me in the comments, and tell me, Yesida, what are you looking forward to?
Basically, looking forward to having the prototypes come in later this week, and having people play and getting feedbacks from around Nigeria, basically, because I'll be sending it to several parts of Nigeria. I'm looking forward to the pandemic being over. I can't wait for things to get back to
Oh, yeah.
to normal. Really, so that's just it. We can have a breath of fresh air. I've not been able to go out of the like stuff because I can't take my kids everywhere. So I can't do more. The marketing I used to go out for and all of that, just been indoors.
I mean, I don't know if that is a genuine question or if it's rhetorical, but I think that yeah, normal means having your daughters go to school. By the sounds of it, normal means being able to go to the market and seeing other people.
Yes, having like real life communication, like being able to touch other people. You can't hold, you can't touch, you can't. You just get to see people online these days. You know, having a conversation face to face. Yes, I look forward to all of that.
That's a lot to look forward to, and I think that we can all look forward to, whether it happens in a few months or even in a year's time, fingers crossed, it will happen, that we once again are able to hug our friends and even our acquaintances and those people that we are feeling friendly and compassionate towards. Because right now it is sometimes excruciating that you can't show your love through touch. But having that, the hand on the shoulder, the hug, it matters so much. And so to deny humans that, it is really difficult. And so I think that's a really good hope. Other than that and your prototypes, do you have any other things? Xate is talking about also doing some playtesting with some people in New Zealand
Hello,
and the
Jess.
USA. And Xate
Yes.
is doing things. And yes, Jess is a lovely person. Um,
Hello.
and
Hello.
yeah, so there's Jess from Thailand saying hello to Yeside from Nigeria. And we're talking with
Hello.
people in the UK, in Germany. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, it's, I do want to as we wrap up again, please share the word however you can. Um, and yeah, just tell other people about it. My next streams tomorrow at Thursday, I'm talking about Calvin Wongtse-Loon. Calvin is talking about why writing and fiction and stories in general are important in board games. That's going to be really exciting. And then tomorrow is another Thursday prize play along where I play some games. You can join in those games and even win some small prizes. We are going to be playing How Much Money, which is how much money would it take us to do crazy things, and Micro Muckle. And Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be on my own. Friday, I'm going to be talking all about the L deck, whether it's this version or this version or this version, which is here, like whatever typography, which I'm very proud of. And I would like to tell everyone about the competition again that's carrying on. And then I'm going to talk about review my week on Saturday. On Sunday, I'm talking with Catherine, who makes edible dice. So these are dice, you can roll them, but they're really designed as gimmicks that you can actually eat. So I will try to set up all those things. Some of them are already on the YouTube and Facebook, and that. And wrapping up, yeah, I think as Yeside has been saying, it just seems like you've had such a wonderful journey in such a short amount of time, and congratulations on everything that you've managed to achieve. And
Thank
teaching
you.
things through the medium of board games. Um, well done, and thank you. Thank you, everyone watching. Thank you, Xate, Alan, Aquasulis, Jess, and
Yes.
thank you, most importantly, thank you, Yeside, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank
Do you have any final comments or things that you would like to share?
just we should just keep being one happy community, like globally supporting and helping each other, and just being happy generally and learning, keep learning and unlearning, because that's basically what life is about. And
Yeah,
can you hear
you
me?
kind of we broke the connection
You
for a
didn't
moment
hear
there.
me. Did you hear what I said?
Oh, sorry, could you repeat that? You broke up.
Echo community, which we've always been helping and supporting. I'm so sorry. I was saying that the board game community, like you helping us here. We should keep helping each other, learning. Hear me?
I
Oh, you
I
get
don't
me?
quite. I'm really sorry. Again, it just really broke up. Let's try one more time, and then it's going to be too frustrating to carry on, I think.
I'm so sorry. I said we should keep being a helpful community. Okay, helping each other up. Yes, keep being helpful and keep learning and keep unlearning, which is what life is about. Thank you.
I think that is such a wonderful thing to promote. Helping each other, being helpful and working together and building each other up. Because
Yes.
life globally, I mean, Alan earlier on talked about cooperative versus competitive games, and life globally is very much a cooperative game. We can all work together. We can all make this world a better place for everyone. And yeah, I my also heart goes out to Will Cook, to Xate. Um, I'm going to shout out my things, stuffbybez.com, twitter.com/stuffbybez, instagram.com/stuffbybez, twitch.tv/stuffbybez, facebook.com/thingsbybez, and stuffbybez@gmail.com if you wish to reach out to me. And there is only one thing left to do, and then I'm going to head off. And that one thing left to do is to sing. Bye, bye,
Oh,
bye, bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye, bye,
oh,
bye, bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye,
oh,
bye,
bye bye,
bye,
Beth. It's
bye.
nice being
This is a
here.
goodbye
Thank you,
song.
everybody, for joining
Bye,
in.
bye, bye, bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye
Oh,
bye.
bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.